Hello there, Advanced American Nation, Mr. Yond here. The date today is probably about May 24th, May 25th. We're going to have a supplemental something. I don't know what it's going to be at this point. Either a Teen Viz or current event right here on the 24th, Thursday 24th, and May the 25th, we're going to start our paper. We're done with content. We went to the last chapter. Now we're going to write a little research paper to finish out the school year, more or less. You can see we begin on the 25th. The paper itself is due right here, the 4th, Monday the 4th, which is our last full week of school. The rest of the week is pretty easy stuff, like end of the year survey, tell me what you're going to do this summer, easy points kind of things. So you have about a week to do this paper. For today, we're just doing a quick overview. And then you're going to have pretty much the rest of the week next week to work on it. And I don't really think you'll need that much time, but you have it. And at each day, I'll have sort of some tips and tricks for the different parts of the paper. So, like, for example, today it's the overview of the whole thing. You could probably write the whole paper with the information you have today. But Tuesday, because we're off on Memorial Day, will be specific to research tips and how to do your works cited. Some tips on introductions. Some tips on your 3 body paragraphs, and then in conclusions, and then submit your paper. Also of note, because there's nothing heavy the rest of this week, that means if you need some more time to do your paper, as long as you get it in before the end of the school year, it'll be graded and part of your final grade for marking period 4. Let's take a look at this overview, shall we? So we got the video here. Now, more or less your catch-all information for this paper right here, linked paper instructions and rubric, link to the Google Doc. Here it is right here, all the directions and the rubric. So let's talk about this. For this project, we'll call it, for this paper, you'll be writing a 5-paragraph report on the historical person of your choosing. You're also going to need a photo of this individual. You can draw it if you want. You can probably just find one on the web. What are you going to tell me in this paper? Who's this person? Give me some background. What did this person do? Why are they important to history? Are they still around? When? When did this person live? Were they in colonial times? Is it a modern person? Is it someone that was around in 1900? When and why are they important? You can include any other information you find, whatever you really want to talk about. Just make sure to stay on the topic of that person in history. If you're not sure who to research, because really you could research anyone, that's fine with me. They should probably be someone that's pertinent to American history, as in our class was called American Nation. Just off the top of my head, I made a list for those of you that are sort of undecisive. We got Sir Walter Raleigh from the beginning of the year, John White, he was from the Roanoke Colony, George Washington, Sam Adams, Thomas Jefferson, Abigail Adams, Martha Washington. Really, any president or first lady or anything like that would probably be a good person to go with. Henry Clay, politician, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and Clara Barton are people we talked about in our reforms of the 1800s chapter, our whole lesson on the ladies and reform and abolition and all that. Crispus Attucks was an African-American man killed in the Boston Massacre. Andrew Carnegie, Henry Frick, guys we talked about more recently, as was Jane Addams, who started the Hull Houses. Just some ideas I'm throwing out there. You could look through your book, your digital version, and pick anyone. If there's anyone that caught your eye throughout the whole chapter, now's the time, or the whole course, now's the time to learn a little more about them. Now, in terms of sources, you can use the web or any physical copies of books you have. Also, feel free to, use your textbook as a source. I don't recommend using Wikipedia as a listed works in your works cited, but it is a good place to start and sort of get the summary of what a person did if you have no idea. Good place to start. Wouldn't use it as an official site on your works cited page. On that topic, at the end of your paper, you must list the websites, books, and other sources you used. I would say you want 3 or more. Try to use 3 or more sources. I'm not looking for a special format or indentations in the paper or anything. Just give me 3 or more sources that you use to write your paper on your Works Cited page on the end. Remember, you can't copy and paste content from a website into the paper. You have to, write it in your own words. Yet also don't put Google as a source. Like, Google is a source. It finds information. It's not the information itself. It's a search engine. Yeah, so don't do that. Let's look at this rubric. This is how you're going to make all your points. This is a 45-point paper, so it's basically the size of a test in terms of points. Your picture, easy 5 points right there. You give me a picture. Information. Basically, if you give me 3 body paragraphs full with accurate information about your character or your person, full points for there. Intro and conclusion. The intro and the conclusion is worth 5 points each. Your Works Cited page on the end will be worth 10 points. And then your mechanics. You'll want to have good grammar and spelling and things like that. In total, 5 paragraphs. That's an intro paragraph. 3 body paragraphs filled with information about your person, and some kind of conclusion paragraph. That's it. 5-paragraph paper on the person of your choosing from American history. And as I mentioned, we'll kind of go through tips and tricks for each one, for each part of this, as we go through the week. By the time you get here, assuming you don't work all the way ahead, it should all be open. You don't have to keep yourself contained to alright, today I'm going to do just research, and tomorrow I'm going to do the intro, and then the paragraphs tomorrow, and then I'll finish. You can do it all in a day if you want, but you have the whole time to use it at your disposal. Feel free to skip ahead, and really you can look at all these in the same day if you want. You probably have more time for this paper than you need. It's just the end of the school year, and I want everyone to have a lot of time to do a good research paper. That's it. If you have any questions or want to ask about using someone that you don't see in the book or whatever, you can run it by me. If you want to do your paper on an obtuse historical person. That's just let me know. I'll approve it. That's it. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a good day. Good luck on your paper, and I'll be here if you need me.